We're trying to maximize the dollars we return to our investors. We're not going to sell an asset earlier or later just to make a tick or two on the IRR. We're looking to make good, solid market decisions of what that asset's true dollar value is worth on any given day, and exit as lucratively as we can from an equity multiple or dollar for dollar basis. So the IRR is just an after effect of good decisions, I guess.
That's a good way to put it. What does it mean to you for you to have like so many investors and also lenders believe in what you're doing?
That's the whole thing, really. I mean, if we steer the ship in the wrong direction, if we do something incorrect, if we do something unethical, all that goes away. So we've really tried to hold ourselves to high standards in terms of what we're doing, and our money is invested in this just like our investors is. So if we're putting our money in, we want the best return we can achieve for ourselves, and obviously, we want that for our investors as well. And I think they see that. Fortunately, the results have been pretty substantial. We've generally beat the market in terms of IRRs on an annual basis. While we're not typically, IRR isn't really our threshold. We're trying to return as many dollars on a per dollar basis as we can. It's just an end result of it. But yeah, our lenders have been fantastic. I don't know that we've ever taken a deal to one of our we'll call them my partners, lender partners, that hasn't been approved. And that's, I think, speaks highly to our track record of success with the deals that we've become involved in.
Do you use IRR then primarily so investors can kind of benchmark their investment with you against their other investments?
Absolutely.
And internally, you're focused more on the equity multiple?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're trying to maximize the dollars we return to our investors. We're not going to sell an asset earlier or later just to make a tick or two on the IRR. We're looking to make good, solid market decisions of what that asset's true dollar value is worth on any given day, and exit as lucratively as we can from an equity multiple or dollar for dollar basis. So the IRR is just an after effect of good decisions, I guess.
That's a good way to put it. So just speaking on that, you mentioned Lucrative, so I have to ask you, what was your favorite deal, or I guess the most lucrative deal for investors, if you remember? I know you guys do a ton of deals.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not too far in the rear view. So we purchased an asset in Topeka, Kansas for about $41 a door. It was 191 units. And another buyer had that and two other multifamily assets under contract as a portfolio. And for whatever reason, that buyer decided that this particular asset didn't have as much substantial upside. Well, I quickly jumped all over that. We were able to get it for a few $100,000 less than they had it under contract for at the time. And then just quickly jumped in and did what we do. And it was the perfect intersection of finding an asset that fits our wheelhouse, fits our model, and sort of the COVID rise in values. So we purchased that asset. We had $2.5 million cash in the deal, and we ended up in 2 years on the nose, returning 9.3 on that 2.5. So we sold the deal for 15 and a quarter. 2 years on the nose, and it just so happened that the closing date of that intersected with our annual investor reception. We hold at Old Warson Country Club every year for each of our investors, and at the time we were announcing the launch of Funds 5 and 6. So everybody gets happy when they're handed a nice check, and we were able to return 50% of our investors' committed capital off of that one small deal in Topeka. So that felt pretty good.
And when you say that 50%, so the fund still had a lot of other assets or capital to deploy.
Yeah, and that was in our fourth fund. So we're continuing to own and operate some other assets that haven't reached their end of their life with us yet. But so it was a fantastic from an investment perspective, fantastic from a timing perspective. So up to this point, that's been the most satisfying.
Some fun must have been had that night at Old Warson, I would imagine.
It was.